Terry Liggins, the Hurdle Life Coach, here from the third day of the third Global Therapeutic Community Summit here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Actually, this is actually day one of the summit. I've been in Salt Lake for 3 days, but the summit actually started tonight with a welcoming of additional guests to Salt Lake City, a keynote presentation by Dr. De Leon, who I'm definitely excited to tell you about what I learned from him. And then we're going to go through 2 more days of actual summit experience. But I've been here since Monday participating in some immersion with the Academy, a deep dive in training, which I did yesterday on peer accountability. And then today, more training with the executive team at the Other Side Academy, in addition to opening up the Global Therapeutic Community Summit this evening with a keynote from Dr. De Leon. So this is my third day recap from Salt Lake City. Again, I've mentioned that I've been out here before. A year ago, I did an immersion. This year, I'm doing another immersion coupled with training, and I brought a team member with me. Tonight, I don't have Ben. Ben is in recovery from his third day of immersion. Tonight, he was out with the Other Side Movers. He loved what he saw. We've already debriefed. He told me about the sense of ownership that really moved him when he just really witnessed the Other Side Movers just operate with that sense of ownership and belonging, and the sense of pride and dignity that it gave them as they were interacting as service providers in the community. You know, he just continues to be impressed with his immersion experience, and it's nothing that I'm surprised by, because this organization is top notch, and in my opinion, the gold standard for modern day therapeutic communities. So let me get into some of what I learned today, what I saw today, what impressed me. So I've been here wearing a couple of hats. As the chief executive at Hurdle Life Coach, it is my responsibility to really lead the strategic, investigation and planning, and also the implementation. Being how small we are as an organization, it is incumbent upon myself to put myself in environments where I can go and learn best practices, strategies, approaches, evidence-based research and evidence-based approaches that are working, and bring them back to my community with confidence in their outcomes based on the fidelity to these models. So I've been at the feet of the executive team here at the Other Side Academy. Dave DeRocher is the executive director of the Academy. Tim Stay is the CEO, and Joseph Greeny is the board of directors. I have had ample opportunity and time to sit at the feet of these distinguished leaders and learn about the Other Side Academy, their approaches, their ways, and their outcomes. And that's my number one takeaway today. This organization is operating with a sense of transparency, which evokes a sense of trust and ethics. Right? We know that in leadership and in the journey for trying out new things, you really can measure the ethics of an organization based on their level of transparency. And I've been absolutely impressed at the willingness of the CEO, the board of directors, Dave DeRocher, to not only answer any questions with transparency, but actually provide full overview of the organization, top to bottom, numbers included, with the guest here in the training and at the summit. So today I walked through the numbers with the organization. I saw this organization started in 2016, go from $837 in revenue in year one with this brand new therapeutic community model, to be now in year 5, heading into year 6, looking to eclipse $5 million in revenue. And I saw the chart, I saw the growth and the trajectory of the revenues being generated from the $837 in annual revenue, getting up to then that $500,000 mark. I watched how they went from there, from that $837 to the $500,000. From there, I watched it go to $1.5 million. I watched the next year then, eclipse $2 million. then 3 million and 4 million. And this organization, as I've told you, with its social enterprises, is 10 moving trucks, is 2 boutiques. The builders that also are part of the academy is absolutely generating revenue and is a self-sustaining, self-reliant model for transition care, which is a key component to therapeutic communities. I'm here learning about therapeutic communities. I often educate on how we can reform the system from different perspectives, but we are most passionate about, I heard of life, it's a community-based response. I myself am a product of a therapeutic community that I experienced on the inside while incarcerated. I was not even aware that there are therapeutic communities in the model is in the community as well. And so I'm here at the feet of the leadership at the Other Side Academy, absolutely learning from the leadership on what they're doing, the how they're doing it, and what are those outcomes. Like, they shared outcomes on impact and amazing data points to be lifted up. The fact that they've never submitted a dirty UA to adult probation or parole in their existence here in Utah, their 5 years of operating, no student at the academy has ever rendered a dirty UA in their relationship with adult probation and parole. And that comes from the culture of accountability that is built into a therapeutic community model, whereby each one teaches one, and when A helps B, A gets better. From the very beginning, the reason therapeutic community models work is because of the peer accountability. There is a level of commitment that one person has to the next person, that 200% accountability that just drives the types of outcomes that are just hard to believe and fathom that they even exist. No student has ever rendered a dirty drug test to adult in probation. Another thing they do very well here, they have a postgraduate program. Their program has now gone from 24 months to 30 months, with a 6-month mandatory postgraduate experience. But even in that postgraduate experience, they have a 100% employment placement rate for their graduates. At the Other Side Academy, when you complete your 24 months and you start to move into that graduate phase, it isn't we're done with you, you're done with us, good luck out there. Utilize the resources we've taught you and the resources in the community to go out and figure it out. Instead, we're going to stay alongside of you for the next 6 months or for however long it takes and provide you the support you need in your transition. And what that looks like is graduate housing that is not only subsidized, it's free for the first 3 months. And then after that, the rent is subsidized in a way that is super affordable. After 12 months in the program, post-grad program, you decide to stay, they'll match your savings dollar for dollar. They have a relationship with the bank and the institution that works some of these different things out. And after 2 years, if you want to stay for 2 years, again, a matching program is in place. They have a graduate here right now. They're even loaning their vehicles to their graduates to ensure that they have adequate transportation to and from their employers. So not only are they building relationships with employers while the students are at the academy and have employers knocking on the door wanting the Other Side Academy graduates because they know the type of character and reliability and dependability that's being developed while they're here, they are able to now produce a 100% employment placement rate for their graduates. That is something to pay attention to. So they're offering transparency in that. But again, there are challenges along the way. They're talking about some of the attrition challenges. How some people don't stay, so they're clear about that, and that's not to be looked at in a way that means that this model is failing in any way, because it's human nature to quit things. We have healthy individuals who set New Year's resolutions and they're done with those in 2 weeks. So to now juxtapose an attrition rate for some people within 2 weeks of coming to the academy, and to look at that and see that the numbers are somewhat surprising, don't be surprised, because remaining committed is a challenge for all human beings, especially and then double down on those who have other additional challenges. So there is some attrition that happens there in the first 2 weeks, but after 2 weeks, those who stay for at least 2 weeks, the retention rate then spikes. For those who graduate, they have an amazing data point for those who remain crime-free and employed and drug-free. It's absolutely amazing the level of transparency this organization is providing. I can keep on going, but I'm going to push through a little bit. But I just want to say that they are transparent. So the outcomes for the Other Side Academy is on their website that can be tracked and checked out. They have it all there. Please look into the Other Side Academy. The other transparency pieces, they walked everybody through the facilities. They showed off their facilities, the housing that they have here, their social enterprises. So I got a chance to go back to the warehouse. I was at the warehouse earlier this week. I was there today with a big group of people. One of the cool things that happened for me was, coincidentally, serendipitously, I really feel it was divine, is I was doing a mentorship with one of the students here, and there was a caravan of vehicles that were scheduled to leave to go to the warehouse. And as I was getting lost and also doing some coaching and doing some pouring into some of the students here, down the street comes Tim Stay, the CEO, and my new friend Maurice with the Other Side Village, Maurice Egan, the director of neighborhood recruitment for the Other Side Village. They're doing a project for homelessness here in Salt Lake. And I had made enough of an impression on both of those gentlemen that they recognized me standing on the corner doing mentorship. And they said, "Hey, are you coming to the site?" And I said, "Yes." And I was actually able to get in the vehicle with the CEO, with the director of neighborhood recruitment, and be carried along to the site in the escort that was bringing the CEO. So I end up getting the type of time that money really can't buy. I can't really put a price to it. The fact that I'm in the back seat with the CEO and the director of neighborhood recruitment for the Other Side Village, and I had the opportunity to just ask direct questions to the CEO. I had a one-on-one, about a 25-minute one-on-one here with the CEO, asking all different types of questions about how to get something like this started. And it was just absolutely cool because I'm a geek for learning. I'm a geek for leadership. And I feel there was a divine appointment that I was able to be along with the CEO and Mo for that experience. Not only to the warehouse, then we went from the warehouse to the thrift boutique with Tim and Mo. And then even from the thrift boutique back to the Other Side Academy with Tim and Mo. And so I really had a real unique, special opportunity to just share my heart with the CEO at the Other Side Village. Unbelievable. The fact that there's a summit going on here, he's meeting all type of people, he's talking to all type of people, and that God would align a special appointment for me, that I would get that type of one-on-one time, not only to pick his brain, but to share my heart, to share the work of the Hurdle Life Coach and our thumbprint, our footprint in the community in Sioux Falls right now, our hopes, our impacts, and really just be able to build into what it is that is a rapport with the CEO. I've already had a great relationship with Dave DeRocher, a little bit with the board of directors, Joseph Greening, but today, what a pleasure to be able to build rapport with the CEO, Tim Stay, get his phone number, meet the director of neighborhood recruitment for the Other Side Village, get his phone number, and really make friends with the leadership at the Other Side Academy. Absolutely amazing. Can't believe that it has happened. Praise God and for me, that something like that would happen. I really feel it was a divine appointment. So just so thrilled about that. The Other Side Village, look into that. I know that we are attempting to do some work with the homeless in our community, and there's gaps in those services. And there's some things that we can do. We have the generosity to pull this off in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We do. We have the compassion. We have the generosity. What we lack is the strategy and the model and someone to implement it. And here it is that I feel called and compelled to study this model called the Other Side Academy, to be at the feet to learn all of their strategies, and my strength being that I am an implementer. The solutions are here. The evidence is here, the research is here, and the support and the service and the willingness to work is also here at the Hurdle Life Coach. So amazing that I would have that opportunity to spend time with the CEO and the Director of Neighborhood Recruitment. Let me talk a little bit about the networking opportunity. I actually do see that I got some people joining me live tonight. Thank you for actually caring enough to be here. I'm going to share this out on my personal page. I know I'll get more people listening to it over there. We got a decent following on the business page, but I thank you guys for actually caring enough to hear this out, whoever you are. I can't really tell, but I can see a number there, and I'm grateful that I'm being heard right now. You know what? There were so many people here to learn from Tulsa as well. So my third takeaway, outside of the divine appointment, the level of transparency in numbers and in facility, is the fact that I got a chance to network with so many other leaders from across the nation that flew out here too to learn from the Other Side Academy. That says something. If you have people from Vancouver, Canada, the John Volcan Academy, he has like 3 facilities, one in Canada, one in like Arizona, another one over in like Pennsylvania or something. This guy probably flew out 7 of his team members, and the John Volcan Academy is here at the summit as well to learn from Tulsa. There is also Habilitat, that's in Hawaii. They are here to learn from Tulsa. I didn't even know there was a therapeutic community over in Iowa, but there is, and it's called Harvest Academy. They're here. There's another model here in Salt Lake called Red Barn. We're going to see that tomorrow. They're here. The Hurdle Life Coach is here from South Dakota. Like this is not just a Terry being obsessed and fascinated with this model. There are organizations from across our country and globe that are also paying attention to this model. And I'm making quality relationships out here with other leaders who are doing this work in different models and different ways that I can learn from, that when we decide to give this an at-bat, that there's so many other resources we can continue to tap into and reach into to learn from as we implement this type of model and program in Sioux Falls. That is my hope. I know that we care, but I often say, if you say you care, then show you care. I love what we're doing with housing. I love what we're doing with food insecurity. I love what we're doing with some of the reform we're seeing in education. But there is still a gap in supporting vulnerable adults in transition, and it's a therapeutic community. It's a therapeutic community. It's a therapeutic community. And that would be my final takeaway. I was able to learn from and listen to. The keynote address tonight was Dr. De Leon. He is the foremost, most reputable philosopher, author, practitioner. When it comes to therapeutic communities, he wrote the book. Guy is 91 years old, full of vitality still. We actually streamed him in. He chose not to fly out, even though he's still pretty mobile. He decided not to fly out to Salt Lake. We heard from him virtually, and I was able to hear directly from Dr. Leon an amazing outlay of the history of therapeutic communities, how to maintain fidelity, why they're important, the impact of this type of work. And I'm absolutely humbled by what I received just by being a willing learner, seeking out this information by coming out to the Other Side Academy. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to lean in, and I'm going to end with this. If you say you care, then show you care. So at the Hurdle Life Coach, this is the second time we've been out here for a whole week to just download this information and to just do our very best to just continue to build upon our own intellectual capacity, that we could be the premier source and resource for implementing this type of model in South Dakota, in the community in which I live. I am sincere about my work. We are sincere about our work in providing care for adults in transition. We know that when we support an adult in transition, we support a mom, a dad. We help develop and reunite people with families and create more healthy family dynamics. We also create a safer community. We also create a safer community. All I'm talking is solutions. And I'm not going to belabor our sincerity and our commitment. It shows. If you say you care, then show you care. I would love to have more conversations about the therapeutic community model, how we implement it, who needs to get involved, getting the people to the table. I've got the blueprint of who needs to be there, and I'm ready to send those emails and make those phone calls when I get home to the key people within our judicial circuit, within our community, within our law enforcement, to get this thing off the ground and give it an at-bat in our community where I know we care. Okay, so I'm on the log out now. This one was probably a little bit longer. That's okay. Sometimes my passion leads me, and that's okay. And I just am so thrilled to be out here getting this an amazing experience with the Other Side Academy at the Global Therapeutic Community Summit. So with that, I'm going to do a recap tomorrow. I'm going to learn some more cool stuff. I'm going to tell you guys all about it. And you gals, you folks, you people, you followers, you believers in Hurt of Life. And we're just going to keep doing the work because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do is helping other people and figuring out how to be a better helper of other people. Right? Right? All right. Let's keep loving on people. Let's keep hurting on life. Thanks a lot. Peace out.